we'll go ahead and tighten this up as well. Go ahead and open this up again. Finally see some fluid coming out of the, see, I can feel it getting a little stiff. See is the air bubbles start to come up here. So we've got to, this process is going to be done probably 4 or 5 more times. I'm going to try to hold this brake line down as I tighten it so it doesn't hit the upper deal here. Then we're just going to get this tight. Same thing on this side here. Then we'll get this thing lowered so I can tighten that top bolt there. I've got it lifted up and then lower it down after I lock the lift in place. There we go. We'll just drop it down. Now the front two banjo bolts on the front calipers were 12 millimeter. This is a 13. It's a different size, and I actually had to rob parts, excuse me, off of some of the other master cylinders because the brake line company did not send the correct threaded banjo bolts. So thank God I was able to get the right pieces. We'll go ahead and tighten this up as well. Then we'll go ahead and get this cap off. And if you'll notice that the 2008, 2009, and 2010 brake cup is significantly larger. With the fatty handlebars that I put on here, you can kind of, when I took the old master cylinder off, because the master cylinder had to go farther toward the we'll say the speedometer, that the fluid, when I got air in the brakes, I'm not for sure if it was because I locked the brakes or for over a year, or there was not enough fluid in it. But this master cylinder is much taller than the old master cylinder, which would alleviate any of those issues whatsoever, because once it's full it will hold more fluid. So I'm actually going to use paper towels here to see if we're going to have any leaks on this this connection here. It's not exactly straight, and Polaris uses these O-rings type crush washers with the rubber in the middle, and I'm using solid copper crush washers. Here's the copper crush washers. I'm not 100% sure why Polaris wants to use the rubber if these brake system seals, I mean, technically, like with your train, if you use an O-ring chain, they last longer and they keep dirt from getting in the middle of the kink. But I'm not 100% sure on why you would want these on crush washers. If somebody knows, put it in the comment and link below, because I honestly don't know. I mean, I think I understand why you would want the rubber washer, but in all reality, once this is crushed and sealed, I don't see this ever leaking, you know. And I'm not so sure that that's not aluminum instead of copper, because it looks like aluminum, but just weird. Okay, and if you have been watching my footage and channel, please help support the channel. I'm an independent Amsoil dealer, dealer number 5541460, Dominator 4. Some of the best DOT4 fluid you can buy. Little pricey, you have to check online, but you could sign up as a preferred customer under me, and if you do that and you email me, I will help you figure out what's going wrong with your quad, motorcycle, or whatever. I had a whole wall of framed emails and things of people thanking me. I took down like 56 framed certificate type things of people that I've helped over the past. And since I haven't been on for over a year, I've kind of decided that I can't help everybody, but the people that I can help are going to be people that are customers. So if you want to email me or something like that, you've got to be a customer, because I'm so busy I can't just stop and help you. So now that we have the fluid in here, we're going to go down to the wheels and open the bleeders, and then we're going to let the fluid out of the bleeders and then refill the cup up here until we can try to get as much air out of the line before we actually bleed it, because the whole new brake system from the top to the bottom is just full of air. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually try to protect this from any brake fluid getting on this painted wheel and all this new stuff. And I'm going to open this bleeder until we get some fluid. I'm going to open this bleeder until we get some fluid, and I'm going to have to do this quite a bit actually. I'm actually going to go up and pump the brakes a little bit. And as I pump the brakes, you should see some air bubbles come up. It's not going to be a lot. And then we'll go back down and open this side again. We'll go ahead and open this up again. There we go. We've got a little bit that came out. We're going to shut it. We're going to open it again. And we're going to shut it. I'm going to pump it. I'm going to pump the brake. Then we're going to go to the other side. So now that we pump and we see air bubbles, we're going to switch over to the other side. And I'm going to put in just a little bit more fluid. And now we're going to go to the other side. Carefully turn it. We don't want to be spilling brake fluid. I've got to try to get some more of the fluid down before I turn this. That'll be enough. Same thing on this side. We're just going to open the bleeder up. then shut it. That actually sucked quite a bit of fluid out down to that line. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more pumping, and then I'm going to start looking for leaks because of all the connections that I've had to make for this brake system. One tip here, if you want to check for leaks, I mean, you can get in there and feel with your hand, but really one of the easiest ways is to use a towel. And if any of these lines are leaking, it'll come up wet and a little dirty, but it ain't wet. Same thing here. We're looking for any leaks. Nothing. Down below. Nothing. Now we're on this side. I think we're going to be okay. Good to go. Okay, I'm going to pump, and then we're going to bleed, and we should finally see some fluid coming out of the... See, I can feel it getting a little stiff. So there's no power to it. It's just, we've got to get all the air out, which is extremely difficult with brand new lines. Now on this here, we finally should see some fluid. Yeah, there we go. It's got lots of air in it. Look at that. Okay, we need to shut that and keep an eye on that cup. Let's go ahead and open it again. The air come out of it. Okay, we need to go to the other side. We should have fluid come out of this now. Nope. Still no fluid. I can hear the air. You're not going to be able to hear it over the air conditioning. So I'm opening it up, pumping the brakes. There we go. Okay, we're building pressure up top. There we go. You should see the air coming out of the line up in the cup. What you'll see is the air bubbles start to come up here. So we've got this process is going to be done probably 4 or 5 more times. Just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until all the fluid comes out, and then we're going to hydraulically bleed it. Look at all that air. Holy cow. You just see the air. Oh wow, you just see the air pushing that out. I know it's hard to see, so we'll just pump it. It's starting to get stiff, but there's a significant amount of air left in these things. So we'll go to the other side here. Then I'm not going to show the rest until I get to the air compressor. You just got to try to get as much air as you can out of the line. And then same thing here, going to open it up again. Still got air in it. We'll go up there and pump it and then open it up. in. Actually, tilting the ATV might be, we might have to tilt this to get this to be correct. Because of my background, I've got to go into work. So there's only certain people allowed into certain buildings at certain times. And unfortunately, this is one of those times. But that's why I make the big bucks. So I'll come back tomorrow and go through the process here. I'm real glad to be shooting YouTube videos. And I will hopefully get these things totally bled tomorrow.